Hello everyone, this video we're going to show you how to make set lists. Really easy. This is probably an exercise you're doing already. You're probably, I know I'm in a couple bands and sometimes we use Google Sheets, sometimes it's a Word document, but whatever set list you already have, you can copy that and we're going to paste it into a different editor called Notepad. This will make it super simple, or you can just key them in manually in Notepad. I am on a Windows computer, by the way. If you're on a Mac, it will be a little bit different, whatever text editor you have there. You could also use something like Excel if you had to, not a big deal. But for this exercise, we're going to use Notepad. So I'm going to go ahead and open up Notepad down here. I'm just going to type in Notepad. And then I'd already copied out my set list from earlier. I'm in an 80s band, and I'm going to go ahead and paste that set list, okay? Cool. All right, so here's what we got. We've got all these songs. Now notice I don't have any numbers in front of them. Don't do any numbers. Just list them in the order that you're going to play them. Okay. So this is all set one, starting with Melt With You all the way down to Wanted Dead or Alive. Okay. Now I'm going to skip a line to do the second set. Okay. You see where it says set two? I'm going to get rid of set two. Set two is not a song. If it's not a song, don't put it on here. Only list out your songs. Nothing else, okay? Now notice I'm going to leave one blank line between set one and set two, okay? That blank line is super important because the black box prompter software will know, they'll recognize that blank line and they'll be like, oh, that's a blank line. That means there's a break in between sets, okay? So it knows that this is set one, blank line, then this will be set two, okay? What if I have a third set? Well, let's say we wanted to break this into three sets. Let's say we end on Pride and Joy and we start with Simple Man. You just add a blank line. It's that simple. So now we have set one, we have this long set for set one, we have a small set, set two, and then now we have a medium set, I guess, for set three. Again, all separated with blank lines. So yeah, so that's how it recognizes the different sets, okay? The last step is we have to save this to our thumb drive in a specific format, okay? We cannot just save it as a text file or as a document file. We have to save it in a special format called .show. That's specific to Black Box Prompter. That tells us, hey, this is a set list, and it knows to go to retrieve the right songs. So how do we save this as a .show? It's real easy. You go File, you go Save As. Okay. I'm going to go down here and I'm going to go find my thumb drive. You should have your thumb drive plugged in already. Okay. I don't have any show files here because it's a blank drive. I'm going to, where it says File Type, I'm going to get off of .txt. I don't want it to save as .txt. That'll mess it up. I want to go ahead and say All Files. So that's the first thing I want to do is I want to say All Files. Then go back to File Name and give it a set list name, okay? You can call the set list whatever you want to as long as you can recognize it, okay? Because this is what's going to show up on the black box prompter. I recommend putting the date and the name of the venue, okay? Or the name of the event, right? So I know we have a gig coming up, on July 4th. So I'm going to say 07-04-2024 as my set list name. And then the name of the venue that we're playing at, it's called Lava Cantina. So I'm going to type in Lava Cantina. And that way, when I see that on the black box prompter, I'll know exactly what show, because over time, you're going to have multiple shows. So having the date and the name of the venue, I think, is a good best practice to get into, okay? The last step, remember I said we had to save it as .show. Literally type in .show, okay? 7/4/24, the name of the venue, .show, okay? And I am on my USB drive, okay? Click Save, and that's it. I'm just going to go back and make sure that it saved it properly. So I'm just going to go back into my File Explorer, and let's just see if it saved it properly. I'm going to go back to my USB drive. In my case, it's drive E. Yours might be D or some other letter, but in my case, it's drive E. And there it is. It says 7/4/24 lavacantina.show. Perfect. All right. So once this is on your thumb drive, you can take your thumb drive out of your computer, plug it into your black box prompter, your black box prompter will immediately recognize it. It'll see that there's a new show file. If you have any new songs, it'll recognize the new songs or the lyrics files. And then it will say, okay, I've downloaded it, you're good to go. They should all be right there, okay? Just make sure that if you list the name of the song on your set list, make sure you have that actual song on the black box prompter. If you don't, it might pull up some other song because it's going to try to match the name of the song. You have to have your song files on the black box prompter if you're going to list them on the set list. So make sure that they're there so it knows exactly which song to retrieve from the set list. Hope that helps. As always, if you have any questions on anything, please reach out to us over at blackboxprompter.com/support.